Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Hey guys, as you can see, I have changed the top of my Disney DVD shelf to a Christmas theme. Switched out my regular Buzz and Woody, and well, actually I didn't usually have Buzz up there. I usually have Jesse and Slinky Dog, but I've added Mr. Prickle Pants and Barbie, Christmas Barbie. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that before I get started here. So, who's ready for a really long vlog? Me sitting here talking about my last trip to Disney World. Before you go away, listen, if you're here for footage of the actual trip, I do have some, but it's not going to be in this video. Go to my videos a little bit further back, and you'll find 3 videos chronicling my last trip that I'm about to talk about now. Now, what I'm shooting right now is a video where I talk about that trip. And it was myself, my sister, and my mom. Our first trip to the Grand Floridian. We stayed club level. That was a first also for us. We went to Mickey's Not So Scary. We went to EPCOT. It was during the Food and Wine Festival. I'm going to talk about that too. A certain thing about that, you know, basically we didn't take part in the food and wine. I'll get into that later. Also Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, where we stayed. We switched hotels. We went to Cabana Bay, which we've stayed at before, and we love Cabana Bay, even though at least I'm primarily a Disney person. I'm a Disney fanatic, so, you know, there's my new Hank, by the way. I just got him. I've been wanting him for a while. He looks great with that coffee pot I've got with my Robo Dory. Yeah, that's Disney Store Hank. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to talk about a few quick things just to catch you guys up, because I haven't done a video in a little while, except for my Texas Ren Fest video that I'll probably post right before this one. But yeah, basically I'm going to talk about my last trip, which was a Halloween trip. It was late September, early October, and we did all that stuff I just talked about. And I was this video, I know it's December 1st, and it's just my sister. I was going to shoot this video with her, and you never know, we still might shoot one together, but she's just super busy. She's got a band and a job, and she took a trip in late October and came back really jazzed about that. So she's been still on a high about that trip. So this Disney trip is already in the past for her. She went to New England and stayed at the house. I mentioned this before. She stayed at the house that they used for the exteriors and the general interior design of the original TV series Dark Shadows, which, by the way, is has very little similarities to the Johnny Depp movie. But we're huge fans of Dark Shadows. Behind me back there, you can see a black box shaped like a coffin. That's the complete series, which we watch a lot. Yeah, so she had a really exciting trip. She stayed there for a week. I might be going there next year with her. It just depends, because right now I'm on the job hunt, or I will be soon. I'm kind of enjoying the holidays right now. But I did get laid off recently, so I'm supposed to have a pretty nice severance package coming in soon, and so I might chill out for the holidays a little bit, because my mom's visiting, and we're gonna do some activities and go to the Draft House a bunch of times, and I'm addicted to the Alamo Draft House Theater. So we're just gonna enjoy the holidays. I might start the job search before Christmas, but right now I'm still kind of chilling. We're eating the leftovers from Thanksgiving, but I am going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about Thanksgiving and Black Friday and a few other things. This is going to be a long video. If you want to skip ahead to the Walt Disney World stuff, go ahead. But I am going to talk about a few toys and things too. Let me get started. Okay. So Thanksgiving. Shortly before Thanksgiving, I've already mentioned this, I got laid off. So, would have been really scary, but like I said, they're giving us a decent severance. hopefully I find another job before then. I'm really bad at job interviews. My college degree is in art, so I really need to. I mean, I don't want to get stuck with another job that's, I don't know. But my degree's in art, so there's not a lot of options for me. I might be in another call center. Who knows? Austin with an art degree. But I'm gonna try to get some other stuff going too. Do more work on the side than I did lately. I got a little too comfortable in my previous job, but I really need to make a lot more money than I was making. So, but I'm gonna start looking for that job a little bit later. Like I said, I went down to pick up my mom for Thanksgiving, and that was I went down on Monday to do that, and I was going to bring her up on Wednesday, and we were going to have Thanksgiving here in Austin, or my sister. Usually my mom and sister prepare the food. Now I'm one of the most, like, I cook more than anybody, you know, in our little family, but I don't do the Thanksgiving meal just because, I don't know, they do it all. And I mean, I usually, I'll make like at Christmas I'll make all the desserts, you know, except, you know, the pies that we get Mrs. Smith's pies. We just bake them in the oven, frozen pies. But I'll bake cookies. I'll make a cake at Christmas, and you know, nothing too fancy. I mean, I'll use the Duncan Hines box and all that. But that's, you know, that's what I do. But in November, in October and November, like, I make a lot of stuff at Halloween, and in November I will bake pumpkin bread, like, all the time. I barely got to bake my first pumpkin bread loaves yesterday, actually, because I just never got around to it. And because Thanksgiving turned into a big fiasco. So really quickly, before I go to the Disney World stuff, what happened was I went down to pick up my mom. She lives 5 hours south of us in a place called the RGV, the Rio Grande Valley. It's right on the Texas-Mexico border. She lives in a city right down there, and so I make the 5-hour drive frequently to pick her up and bring her over here, or, you know, or to take her home. I'm usually going one way or the other every few months, and we want her to move up here, but we haven't gotten around to it. We're trying to clear her house out. She's got a lot of stuff, but so I drove down there in my Dodge Journey, and it's been making a little noise. Okay, so when I get there, and it's Monday evening, we go out to get some dinner, and she hears the, you know, the noise, and, you know, we decide, okay, we better take this car in before we make the drive back to Austin for Thanksgiving. We've got like a whole extra day there with Tuesday. So Tuesday, we take the car to a little repair place, a new one, and, you know, nice looking one. Normally I go to the dealerships, but, you know, back in her town, I don't usually go at all. We just decided to try this little repair place that seemed pretty good. And they said it was the alternator. Okay, I don't know anything about cars. Here's what really, well, we'll get to it in a minute, because they were right. It was an alternator problem. I'm not saying that they were wrong, but they replaced the alternator. Crazy expensive, especially on a Dodge Journey. Everything's crazy expensive on that. And we get an oil change too. And so we go home, thinking, you know, we do a little Christmas shopping while that's going on. And then we go home, you know, we go out to dinner, and we go home. Actually, we went out to dinner at this really great restaurant. What is it called? Los Aceros or something? I don't know. I don't remember. I posted it in my Instagram. Amazing, really. There's a lot of great Mexican restaurants down there, but, you know, this is now my favorite, right? Every time I go down there, I eat a lot of Mexican food. Usually I go to El Pato, this sort of a fast food Mexican food place that makes these particular things I like called patos. But, and then we'll also get like a real Mexican plate somewhere, and that's what we did that night. And yeah, from now on, I'm definitely gonna hit that place as opposed to the restaurant I used to go to. But so we had a nice day of shopping and dinner. The car was being repaired. We picked it up. Everything seemed great, right? We're gonna leave the next morning, well, presumably the next day sometime for Austin to have Thanksgiving. So Wednesday comes around. My mom has a million things to do as always, so we end up leaving late. So I spent most of Wednesday probably chilling out and watching Disney Channel and Cartoon Network. Mostly Cartoon Network, but I hadn't really ever seen Dove Cameron before, and like I'm kind of in love with Dove Cameron now. I was just watching like Disney Channel every time she came on there. God, she's gorgeous. She's 20. She's totally legal. I don't know if she was 20 when she shot that stuff, but anyway. So hanging out, and then we loaded up the car, and we probably ran some errands that no, that wouldn't make sense. We loaded up the car. It was after dark already. Of course, right now it gets dark at like 5 or 5:30. Anyway, so we get the car all loaded. It's the night before Thanksgiving. The car doesn't start. Now, we got no idea what's going on. We just figure out we've got a dead battery. We didn't know that when your alternator needs replacement, you probably, your battery's probably dead too, or dying. We had no idea about that, and they didn't say anything about it. I'm not a car guy. I don't know that stuff. So we were stuck the night before Thanksgiving with a dead battery, and we couldn't get anybody who was going to come out and give us a new battery, and we tried. And so we were stuck there. We were stuck in the valley with no food, and no Thanksgiving dinner. My sister alone up in Austin cooking everything for just her, apparently, because we weren't going to make it after all. And yeah, it was pretty freaky. It didn't seem like it was going to be a very good Thanksgiving. So yeah, so we were just stuck there, and then we're telling our I'm on the phone telling my sister we're not going to make it. We can't get anyone to help, and the car is dead. And I partly blame the car place because they should have said we should probably check your battery. They should have checked our battery. Come on, I mean, they should know that if the alternator is bad, the battery's probably dead. And they caused us to miss our Thanksgiving dinner by not doing that. So anyway, but my sister says, my sister doesn't want anything stand in her way for anything. She's like, okay, well, I'm gonna pack all this food up, and this is my telephone mom. She's like, I'm gonna pack all the food up and come down there when the turkey's done. So that's what she did. She packed up. She cooked all the food. Probably didn't sleep at all. Packed it all up in her little sports car and drove it all 5 hours down to Austin, and showed up at the door on Thanksgiving afternoon, dressed completely like a pilgrim woman, with this turkey and all this amazing food. And we had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and it was like the best Thanksgiving food. I mean, my dad used to do all the Thanksgiving cooking, and he was great, but this was the best turkey and the best. It was really good. Not just because we were scared we were gonna miss it. It was really good. Maybe the 5-hour drive really soaked that turkey in juice. I don't know, but it turned out to be a really good Thanksgiving. An expensive one and everything, but really, it really worked out nicely. It was an exhausting one. It was an expensive one, but yeah, it was nice, and it was our first Thanksgiving in the house we grew up in a long time. So it was really nice, and there's a bunch of pictures of that on Instagram, Nathan Lee James on Instagram, and probably on Ashley Brooke James on Instagram too. I think she's probably posted some. Just really cool. Really had a great Thanksgiving when all was said and done. You know, it was hard, but it was pretty awesome. And yeah, the next day was Black Friday, and now I'm broke until my severance comes in. So I had like 25 bucks. I shouldn't have, but I got a great deal on Hank back there. When I was driving down to pick up my mom, and I always stop at this Disney outlet on the way in San Marcos, Texas, and they had the plush toys were like half price or something, and no, maybe they were less than that, I think. No, they were half price. Well, they might have been like, they were like 12, I guess. So it wasn't quite half price, but better than the buy one get one free deal, because I don't need to buy one get one. I've been wanting them since I first saw that one. But yeah, so I picked them up, and but I didn't do any Black Friday stuff. Usually with me, Black Friday, you know, back when they used to give a lot of freebie stuff, I loved Black Friday. There were like 2 years there where they gave free stuff at the door, gift cards, little beanie toys, just there was all kinds of stuff at the door for free. And you know, they don't really do that now, as far as I know. And sales on that start on Thanksgiving, I'm not into that. It used to be you would get up at 4 in the morning so that you could get to the mall by the time they open, or whichever store, Best Buy or whatever, and they would usually open the stores at, I don't know, they'd open the stores at like 6 or something, but maybe earlier. But if you woke up at 4, you'd probably make it in time to be one of the first 100 or 200 or whatever to get your free gift card or whatever. But they stopped doing that like a long time ago, and then they started making it earlier and earlier, and forget it. What I do now is I'll go check out the leftovers, because mainly the only thing I purchase at Black Friday now usually are Blu-rays and DVDs that are really cheap. Usually Blu-rays. The only time I buy something on DVD is if it's not available on Blu-ray, but like if they don't make it on Blu-ray. But so that's usually what I do. They'll have like bins for like $3 of $3 Blu-rays or $6 Blu-rays, and but like I said, I was broke this year, and that day, you know, we had our big. It was you know, it was a great Thanksgiving, but it was tiring for everybody, and we had to go get my car fixed. So we used my sister's car to jump my car, took it into the same place. They gave us a new battery. I think it was kind of cheaper than it normally would. I feel like they didn't charge. Maybe they didn't charge us for labor or something. I don't know, because probably because they felt bad because we almost missed any kind of Thanksgiving at all. We didn't get to take our trip because they should have checked that battery. Come on. But anyway, so yeah, we got the battery fixed, replaced, and you know, we watched some. Well, we had watched some Thanksgiving stuff the night before, and then we watched some Thanksgiving stuff that day. You know, Dutch and Charlie Brown and Garfield, The Mouse and the Mayflower, all that good stuff. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We watched all that stuff, and we had you know, some leftovers, and then my sister left. My mother and I left the next morning because my mother wasn't feeling well that day after Thanksgiving. So anyway, so the day after Black Friday, we started getting ready to leave, and I had to make a run to Target, pick something up, and they had a lot of leftover Blu-rays and stuff. So I did get 2 Blu-rays. I got the Lego Movie for like $6, and I got The Conjuring 2 for my sister, and I just, you know, gave her that as a gift for thank you for you know, everything, and because I was going to give it to her for Christmas among other things, but yeah, I just decided to give it to her when I got up here. I also kind of felt like watching it. She's a huge Conjuring fan, and she has the first one. She hadn't gotten the second one yet, and I mean, I think we might have liked the second one even more. That's hard to say, but maybe not. But I think she liked the second one more. And I also got Krampus, but I got this before. But just, I don't know if I ever showed that I got this before. But this is worth noting, though, because this is actually a movie that they did at Halloween Horror Nights, which I'm going to talk about in a little while. This video is already really long. I haven't even started. Gosh, I might have to break this up into a couple of videos. Oh yeah, and also before I even went down there, they had these on sale. This is Ladybug, superhero Ladybug from a show called Miraculous. I've never seen this. I just think this character is so cute. And I actually have also this one. This is the same character. This is her secret identity. I don't know her name. I don't remember it. She has a little purse too, but it fell out of her hand. It's right here. But yeah. So yeah, picked up a few toys. Just dropped all of them. But that's, you know, that's the update, I guess, guys. Ever since then, you know, the day after Black Friday, by the time it got dark, it took that long for us to, you know, we washed the car and stuff. And then we came up here, and so we've just been hanging around, resting up. My mom's been here, and we've been watching movies. I carved some pumpkins. I carved some pumpkins yesterday because we have started the thing where you use pumpkins for your Thanksgiving decorations also, and so we had all these extra Halloween pumpkins. So now there are 3 jack-o'-lanterns in the living room right now, so in the den. So yeah, it's kind of been a weird. We kind of had a Halloween last night and watched some Sleepy Hollow movies. Not the Tim Burton one. We had already watched that. We watched the Hallmark one, and I love the Hallmark one. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. I'm going to do a video on all the different versions of Sleepy Hollow next year if I can remember, because that's one of my favorite stories, and there's a wide variety of movies about that. But anyway, so that's what we've been doing, and we've made some Christmas plans. We're taking a train ride this coming weekend, and we're going to see Muppet Christmas Carol at the IMAX. I think it's supposed to snow in the theater and everything, so that should be cool. And I'm just resetting up my toys that I dropped just now. So that's been that. That's what we've been doing, guys. It's just a little update. We just haven't had time to make any other videos since I don't remember what our last video was. I think I did some toy reviews, or unboxings and / reviews. So that brings me up to date. And as far as Christmas, yeah, like we've got a few movies we want to go see, and I don't know if we're doing anything else since we did the Renfest already. Like I said, the train ride is coming, and we might do some local Austin stuff. But yeah, we haven't even decorated for Christmas. Other people have. Normally we would, like after Thanksgiving, fairly quickly, but we haven't done it yet. I'm thinking this weekend that tree's going up, but we'll see. But should be. And we're doing a Disney Christmas tree this year, so I'm going to see if I can find the videos I shot of last year's Christmas tree. We did a Star Wars Christmas tree. I'm not going to talk too much about that right now, because if I can find the videos, I'll edit them together and post them and talk about it there. Okay, so Disney World trip. 20 minutes into the video, sorry. I told you it was going to be a long vlog. Okay, hopefully you cut ahead if you didn't want to hear all that. Disney World. This was late September, and it ran through early October. It was actually a short trip. We did some other stuff before the trip, and so we got up early. You saw this in the videos that I posted. We got up early, went to the airport here in Austin, and we flew on 2 separate flights. I think the first one goes to Dallas when you're leaving, when you're going to Orlando. And we got to Orlando, right? And you know, nice simple trip. And I've actually got the video running in the background if it'll help me remember anything in particular I wanted to talk about. But we were heading to the Grand Floridian. The Grand Floridian is this big Disney resort that is sort of themed on Victorian era Florida resorts, like lavish resorts. And you know, sort of a Mary Poppins time period, Happiest Millionaire, stuff like that. And we were actually, I was going to dress, my sister and I were going to dress as characters from the Happiest Millionaire, but I ended up recycling my Halloween costume from last year, which was a big hit, but I'll get into that later. And she did a Mouseketeer costume, and like a really accurate 50s Mouseketeer costume from the like very early days of the Mickey Mouse Club. And the reason we opted to do that instead is because money was really tight, and also I want to be in better shape before I play that. I tried to dress up as this character from, I was going to be one of the older brother from Happiest Millionaire, and she was going to be the daughter character, and so we were going to play siblings from Happiest Millionaire for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, where you can wear costumes. And it would have gone great with that hotel because it's the same kind of basically time period. So we could have done some photo shoots around the hotel. So hopefully we will do this in some other year if we're able to stay at the Grand Floridian again, because the only reason we could afford it this time was because we got a deal in the mail. They're really they're really working on deals right now. If you want to go to Disney World, this is probably the time, because their numbers are down as far as people visiting. Now, I think that's going to change when the new areas open up. When Star Wars opens up, which is probably going to be a few years from now. I don't know exactly when that land opens up. Disney Hollywood Studios, as it is now called, is going to be huge with that new Star Wars land. I mean, it's going to explode with popularity. And up until now, it's probably been, I don't know if it's been their least popular Florida park, but I mean, I've always enjoyed it, because just Star Tours alone, as a Star Wars nut, you know, that's a big thing for me. But so I love Disney Hollywood Studios. I miss the old days of it, when it was more emphasis on, when Dick Tracy came out, and you know, that was like the best time to go there. It was crazy awesome, that park, I thought, and there was a lot of Roger Rabbit still going around, you know. It was a good time to go to that park. Actually, all of Disney was late 80s, early 90s. To me, is still the best time to have gone to Disney World. Disney Afternoon was a thing, you know. EPCOT was still incredible, especially in the 80s. EPCOT was amazing in the 80s. It's got a few amazing things now, but like everybody says, you know, EPCOT, it's got its struggles. I mean, especially in Future World. I love old Future World. There wasn't too much I didn't like about old Future World in the 80s. Current Future World, I could talk a lot about that, and I will. Like I said, I might have to split this in 2 videos. But anyway, so we were going to the Grand Floridian. We had never done this before. It's the hotel that my mother always wanted to stay at, so we wanted to make sure she got to. And we still, you know, it would be nice to go back someday. Very beautiful hotel. It's the one that during Christmas they have an actual gingerbread house, like a full-size gingerbread house. Well, not full-size, but you know, like you could go inside it if you were allowed to, but you're not. It's an actual gingerbread house inside the hotel lobby, and basically they use it as a booth to sell gingerbread cookies and stuff in there. We bought some the last time we went at Christmas from that little gingerbread house, and it's made out of real. The house is made out of real gingerbread and all that. That's why it's an actual gingerbread house, and it's big enough that, you know, these people are inside selling from it. And yeah, it's just a big, beautiful hotel, like Victorian era, huge, gorgeous. The main building, which is where we stayed. If you stay club level, if you stay in the main building, you have to stay club level, basically, as I understand. And club level is like this really expensive like thing that you get. Basically, they have an area where they have food that you can just come out and eat, and they have fridges full of water and soda that you can come out and get at any point in time that you're there. And they change the food, you know. They have and it's supposed to be sort of like snack food, but like for example, for breakfast, it's not Embassy Suites breakfast where you're getting omelets and stuff. But I showed the footage of all the services that we went to, of all the meal services we went to, and like breakfast is pretty. There's a lot there, you know, for you, and they have like a big dessert thing, which is all at you know, after dinner and during dinner. They can call it snack food, but you can have a good dinner just putting together the little hors d'oeuvres and things that they have. I mean, they had some really good stuff. The best thing were these, what is it called? Pork. I don't usually eat pork, except for bacon and ham, you know. But they had, and I mean, the only one I eat a lot is bacon. Not a lot, but you know, regularly is bacon. If I get a hamburger, I want bacon on it. But they, God, what do you call that pork meat? It's a certain thing. It's just really good. But anyway, that was the best thing I had as far as, and then they had like a lot of great desserts and stuff. But they had all these meal services while you're staying there. Trouble is, we don't spend enough time in the hotel. We're usually at the parks. We need to start having extra days just for the hotel, just to relax in the hotel. We kind of had that on the first day after we got off the plane, but it was not a full day. But we just, you know, we did hang out that day. My sister got a massage that day at the spa, because it's a resort and spa. And she talked about it on the video and how much she loved it. And yeah, I loved the Grand Floridian. We didn't eat in any of the restaurants at the Grand Floridian. We ate at the park. But as far as, you know, anytime we were at the hotel, we had the concierge level service. We didn't need to do anything there. But again, I just wish we were at the hotel more so we could have used it. But at the same time, you know, you got to get to the parks. So, but the first day off the plane, we spent it there at the hotel. It was half a day, I guess, you know. And we loved it. There was this great piano player playing Disney songs, and he even played Star Wars music and stuff, and just, you know, some standard stuff. And you know, we just hung out and enjoyed that. And at Christmas, I know this place is gorgeous. All the resorts are gorgeous, but again, this was late September, early October. And that was our first day. I mean, literally just enjoying the resort. Our room was gorgeous. Our room had a view. This is all in the video, of course. When I get to the parks, that's where I'm going to be giving more opinions of stuff. Basically, all this was gorgeous. Now, it might be ridiculously expensive. Like I said, we got a deal, and it was probably pretty expensive. I only like chip in what I can for these trips. I'm just invited along, so I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a job where I can start paying for trips. But yeah, so that was great. You know, I just loved just sitting even in the lobby and just, you know, listening to the piano player. Or they also have a full like a jazz band, you know, the kind of, the turn of the century kind of big band type little jazz. Well, what do you call that? Swing band? I mean, I know it wasn't swing, but you know. Well, anyway, they had this band on the second level. You know, it's all open air, so you're on the first floor or the third floor. You can see and hear the band perfect, you know, if you're out, you know, in the little lobby areas. So I was there, like, I think we're on the third floor, you know, just hanging out, watching that new Mickey Mouse cartoon, fairly new, you know, the new style one, and which they have running constantly at the parks now. It's like there's this channel, and they call it the Disney Channel, but it's not. It's just a steady stream of of that new Mickey Mouse cartoon show, and it's just a few episodes in a loop. But I mean, you can watch other channels. They do have like some regular channels, but yeah, just sitting there enjoying the free food and watching Mickey Mouse cartoons, and it was great. And in our room, out in the balcony, now this isn't going to be the same for every room in this hotel, but we had the room with a view of the castle, because you can see in the distance the castle at Magic Kingdom, and you can see the fireworks at night when they do the fireworks from our room. We sat there and watched those that night, I think. Yeah, we just had a nice relaxing day. And honestly, when you take trips to Disney World, I mean, it's extra, I know, but the trips are so much better if you stick in now and then a day to just hang out in the hotel. Maybe go to Disney Springs, which is the big shopping area and restaurant area, nightlife area. But we didn't go to Disney Springs this time. This was a short trip for us. If we were going for the parks, we'd stay for a full week and we'd hit some of the parks multiple times, especially EPCOT. And we don't park hop usually, because you spend too much time. Because those monorails and stuff, I mean, are great, but they will eat your time up, you know, going from one park to another. I don't know how people think it's worthwhile to park hop. But, I mean, I can see in some situations, let's say there was something you really wanted to do, and it was closed that day for repairs or whatever, and you had to come back, you know. We used to get park hopper tickets. I think they were better deals at one point in time. I don't know how they are now, but yeah, we don't park hop. Yeah, we that first day also we went into the stores in the hotel in the resort. They've got all that Halloween stuff. I showed some footage of the main store in the resort. There were some others that had the basic stuff. I still regret there were a few things I wanted to get in that store. There was a record, and I showed this in the video, of Lady and the Tramp, the soundtrack to Lady and the Tramp, and the record was like a recreation of like from when it first came out, probably a big album. And it was pretty cool. And then they had a pin, and I've been getting the pins ever since we started this revival of taking trips to Disney World and other places. I've been getting pins from the hotels I stay at. I really wanted the Grand Floridian one, and I don't know why I didn't get it, but I'm gonna look for that on eBay. I had a little money on this trip, a little bit, because I figured it out that my paycheck was coming in right then, so that I could use it on a few things. So I was kind of free to spend like maybe $200 on this trip, and I barely bought anything. And before I'm gonna mention the things I picked up. I can only think of like 2 things that I picked up, and normally, and like small things, and normally, like, see, we started going back to Disney World after my dad passed away, sort of cheer us all up, you know, because he died of leukemia in 2010 or 2011. I don't remember if it was 10 or 11 now. It's terrible. But so we started taking these trips again and just trying to, you know, it's just the 3 of us. I do have an older sister, but she's got her whole family now. She lives in Oklahoma with a family. And so it's you know, me and my sister and my mom, we just have the 3 of us. So we've been taking little trips now and then. But like for about 10 years before that, we hadn't been to Disney World for 10 years. Which was super hard on me because, I mean, we all loved to go when we used to go a lot. We used to go almost every year, once a year, almost every year, during the late 80s and the 90s. Not every year, no, but we went several times during that period. And then we didn't go for like 10 years, you know. And then my dad passed away, and a while after that, we were like, we should go here and there. We wanted to take our mom hadn't been to too many places, and then she also used to love to take us to Disney World, so we wanted to start going back, so we did. And when I used to go to Disney World, I used to buy so many souvenirs. I also collected plush animals. Like, I've been limiting my plush animals lately, and I've been like selling a lot of them off. and only when there's something really special about them. I like that Hank one. I don't know. I had to get that. But yeah, I'm trying to sell a lot of my old plush toys, which are practically in mint condition. And I have sold some. I've regretted selling a few. I sold my Scrooge McDuck, and that's my favorite cartoon character. I kind of regret that. I sold a few others too. I had some Black Cauldron plushes. I had, but I don't have room for that. I had a plush of the Big Bad Wolf that was really cool, but I really don't have room. I would keep all that stuff if I had a huge house, but right now I share an apartment with my sister, and most of my stuff is here in my bedroom, and I have piles of stuff I'm trying to find out where to put right now. my place is a wreck. So I'm being stingy when I go get souvenirs now when I go on trips. Okay. Not because my camera is still my cell phone. I don't have a new camera, so it ran out of space, and I had to transfer that first video to the computer. So this is gonna be patchwork because I do want to post it as one big video. Anyway, I was saying, yeah, I share a place with my sister. I have one little room, so I have to control how many souvenirs I get. And mostly lately, I get Christmas ornaments because I love Christmas ornaments, and I'll get pins, although I don't really have anything to put my pins on right now. I don't really want to ruin my lanyards or anything. All I have are these Halloween lanyards from Universal. But anyway, so and you know, I like statues and figures and things, but I just I've just been stingy lately just because of space and money and everything. If I had more space, you know, I would keep more stuff. I would get more stuff. But there were things that I wanted there, and there were things that I just forgot to get. Like I said, I forgot to go back and get that pin at the resort. And I forgot to get the there was an ornament of Mary Poppins at the resort, and I think they have her throughout the parks in her white outfit. And I love Christmas ornaments, particularly movie and cartoon ones when they're good. And I have the Mary Poppins in black, but this one was reminded me of the resort. So I really wanted to get that. There are, you know, restaurants in all the resorts. There's one called, I think, 1900 Park Fair, in this resort in the first floor, that has a breakfast that we went to one of our previous trips. Where, you know, Mary Poppins is walking around greeting you, and Alice and Mad Hatter and Winnie the Pooh, and maybe Tigger too, I don't remember, but I really enjoyed that breakfast. My sister didn't like it that much. She didn't like the place, the actual restaurant. She didn't like the decor. I don't know, she thought it was seemed like a cheap, she thought it looked cheap, and I don't know why. I thought it looked really nice and really good. But I mean, she likes the rest of the hotel and everything. But this time we didn't do any reserved meals. We weren't on the dining plan because we had this concierge service at this club level of the Grand Floridian. So we didn't do any reservation meals except for Tokyo dining, and at Universal we had the dinner party, the Scare Actors dining experience at Universal. So we were pretty set with meals. We didn't need to get the dining. I like the dining plan for various reasons. Like, you don't have to think about. See, you can say, you know, I can control my money better and just pay for things. But it's, you know, eating at Disney is expensive. It is. And if you don't use the dining plans, you're going to think about it too much, you know. With the dining plans, it's paid for already. I mean, you get good meals. And in fact, you get overfed with the dining plan. You really do. Even when we went with a cheaper dining plan, the lower scale one, maybe it was the middle scale we got. I don't know. But the first year we got the deluxe. all our time went to like going to restaurants and meeting reservation times, and we just were so stuffed all day and we weren't feeling good. The second time we went, the second Christmas that we went to Disney, we went with a lower dining plan. I don't remember which, but even then we had a lot of extra points because they were snack points or whatever. And I mean, you can always use all that on trail mix, and it's great, you know, because you can take home tons of bags of Chippendale trail mix and have it for a while. But I don't know, my mom and sis didn't like having all those extra snack points. I don't know. I think if you know how to use them, they might allow you for certain things to like combine snack points to use as a meal or whatever. I don't know. But they still thought it was excessive. But I think the dining plan is a better way to go than just go with your money. But on a short trip like this, because this was like a really short trip. This was like a 3-day trip or whatever. Or 3 or 4 days, I don't remember. But so we had these meals planned out already, basically, roughly. I don't think we planned initially to go to Tokyo Dining twice, but we did. So anyway. So on our second day, we had this great breakfast at the Grand Floridian, part of the concierge service. And again, it wasn't like an Embassy Suites cook to order omelets and all that. But if you see the videos that I posted, you got croissants, you've got muffins, you've got cereal, you've got lunch meat type. It's lunch meat type stuff, and they had these little quiches that were delicious. Little like spinach quiches or whatever. They try to make it look like you're just getting like little like hors d'oeuvres, but it's good food. They had yogurt, they have fruit. I think they've always got a bowl of fruit there, or bananas or whatever, just all day or whatever. And they have all these, you know, they got milk and juice and all kinds of things. They probably had oatmeal. Of course, you got coffee. They even have like soy milk, and they had like, yeah, they had ham and cheese and deviled eggs. I don't like deviled eggs, but they had that. Turkey. They had a bowl like just full of nuts that you could get your yogurt, or I don't remember what I got, but they had these sticky bun like things that were just, they had pecans or walnuts or something. I think pecans all over them. So good. Yeah, so it was a good breakfast. I mean, it was a very filling, you know, it's an all-you-can-eat, very filling breakfast, and you got any kind of drinks you want, and you got sodas in the fridge and water, and we took some of, you can take some of that with you. You can take some of it to your room, or you can take it to the park, you know. At least the water. I don't know about soda or anything, but I mean, it was really nice. I don't know if we're ever going to get to do the well, I want to stay someday at the Contemporary Resort. If I ever do get to take an Easter/birthday trip, which is what we were discussing, where we're planning on it, but now we're thinking it's probably not going to be able to. The funds just aren't there. But yeah, Contemporary was my choice, and we probably, I don't know if we would have stayed, I think we probably would have stayed club level there too, although I think I've heard that Grand Floridian has the best club level, but then I might have heard that Contemporary does too. I don't know. Anyway, my sister and I went to EPCOT after that breakfast. My mom wasn't feeling well. Sometimes my mom doesn't feel well. She has some digestive issues, and sometimes she's stuck in bed all day. That's the only way she can recover from this issue she has. A couple of issues. She has trouble swallowing, and she also has some kind of gastric thing where she just can't. She'll just get great pain if she just eats too late or something like that. So she wasn't able to go that day. So just my sister and I went to EPCOT in the hopes that she would feel better my mom would feel better by the Halloween party, because we had those tickets too, and those are more like really expensive, I think. But anyway, so we went to EPCOT, and we rode a couple of rides. We went to a couple of attractions. We went on Spaceship Earth first, my sister and I. We love Spaceship Earth. But here's what we got to say about Epcot. Aside from all the stuff about how we really miss and love the old attractions, because we do, like Horizons and even World of Motion. I mean, we would take those any day over Mission Space well, Universe of Energy. We never go on that. We used to go on it when I went on it once, maybe once, the original version, maybe once, maybe twice, and then when it became Ellen's Energy Adventure, just to experience it, I went on it once. I kind of wouldn't mind going on it again, but I hear it really is a long thing, and it takes too much of your time. I haven't had the opportunity to go back. Even last Christmas, we went to Epcot for three of our days because we love it so much. We still didn't do the Universe of Energy, and I kind of regret that. But there's so much to do at Epcot, really, if you really take it all in. So we didn't do that. I did do Mission Space for the first time, not on this trip, but the previous one. And I won't ever do that again. I couldn't breathe on Mission Space. I felt my, constriction. Now there's two versions. There's like a weaker version and a harsher version. It was the harsher version where I couldn't breathe. I was actually feeling like I couldn't breathe. And I could not, there's like no emergency button for like panic button. I mean, they gotta have, maybe I don't know where it is, but they should have a panic button in Mission Space. Not that I want to ruin the ride for anybody, but the claustrophobia in that ride, I mean, I don't care if I ever get super tiny, which I would like to. I won't get in that ride. And my dad had claustrophobia more than I do, but that thing is freaky. You're like, you got this thing over you you're in this, like, it's like you're in a coffin and you're restrained in that coffin. It's a cool ride, the actual, like, the things that you do, but it's just not spacious enough. I can't take it, and I don't understand how they can make a ride that constricts you in a way that you can't breathe. And I mean, it wasn't the thing holding you down that was making it so I couldn't breathe. It was something in the air, because it's the more intense version that does that, and it does something, reduces the oxygen. I don't know what it does, but this is not a fun experience. I mean, the ride, the interactive part is, but yeah, I'm never gonna ride Mission Space again unless some gorgeous girl would drag me on there, and I wouldn't do the intense version. I wouldn't do that. Not fun for me, but we went on Spaceship Earth this year, the first thing, because we love Spaceship Earth. And but what I was really gonna say about Future World, aside from the fact that we miss Kitchen Cabaret and the original Figment ride, the original, is that the music, they had an amazing soundtrack to Future World Epcot. And I have the CD over here. It's like I have only a few CDs now. I've digitized almost all the music I have, which my music collection, most people might laugh at it because it's mostly soundtracks and Christmas music and stuff. But most of it I don't have on, it's mostly Disney soundtracks really. And most of it I don't have anymore on CD. I just, digitized it. Except for my Christmas CDs and a few others, including a Disney World CD that actually has the original Epcot songs. Those songs were so good, and even the attractions that are still there, like the boat ride in the land pavilion, they don't have the songs anymore. And it's sad because removing the songs just takes away something. They didn't replace it with another song, they just removed it. And it took away so much of this, like, it was this optimistic futurist feeling that all these old songs that Epcot had, they all carried with them, and they just took all that out. The Listen to the Land, the original, like, it was Tomorrow's Child that they would play in Spaceship Earth, I think, or I don't remember if it was. I think so. I get the Horizons songs mixed up and everything, but just all these great songs in Future World. Not to mention, you know, Figment's original song, which has been changed, and of course you got a different voice actor now. I weep for old Epcot, even though I do like some of the new stuff. One is the new Frozen ride. I'll get to that in a minute. And I'm not against... I've heard people say, look, they keep changing Epcot to add like Nemo and stuff like that. And they're like, look, either change it totally to be cartoony or keep it educational. And I'm like, why are you making that argument? Adding Nemo to the Living Seas was a perfect compromise. They could do that throughout the park. I mean, you don't have to, you know, change the theme of Future World and change the attractions. You can incorporate those characters, and it does work. It worked with Nemo. It worked with sticking the 3 caballeros in the boat ride in Mexico. It works if you do it cleverly, you know. And really, I've argued this point before, but like all of Future World could be adapted to incorporate Pixar characters. You've got Remy. Sometimes you got Remy in France Pavilion. I really wish he was there when we ate at the French restaurant. I was really sad. They had just retired Remy. But anyway, by the way, when we first walked in, like the first thing you see is the food and wine festivals going on in Epcot. They've got that, you know, big sign there, and then they've got, when you go out of Future World, they've got little booths set up where they're selling food. We did not enjoy the food and wine festival. We kept saying, okay, we're gonna get, you know, that's what we're gonna do tomorrow because we're going back to Epcot. We're just gonna hit all the food and wine festival stuff, you know, or you know, this or that. But we had all that concierge food, so we kept thinking, well, maybe we'll just get a couple of things at Food and Wine just to say we did it. You know, we tried some Food and Wine festival stuff. It's a bunch of booths throughout Epcot where they're selling food representing different countries, right? We were never... We love the restaurant Tokyo Dining. I'll get to that later. And we ate there both times that we went. We went to Epcot twice on this trip. We ate at Tokyo Dining both times. Because we were like, Food and Wine Festival or go back to Tokyo Dining again? Oh, we love Tokyo Dining. We didn't do the food and wine at all. And I'm disappointed because I wanted to be able to say that I took part in that. Because we've never been there during a festival before. When we were talking about going in Easter, we were also going to be there for the, was it the Wine and Garden Festival? Is that what that is? I don't know. But I think that's what it is in April or something. But now we're probably not going to that. But yeah, I wanted to try some stuff, and I wanted to get the little Figment food and wine ornaments as a souvenir. I didn't even, you know, because I didn't take part, I didn't want the ornament, and I just did not experience Food and Wine Festival. We were stuffed just going to concierge and then Tokyo Dining. We just could not do it. But getting back to where we were, we rode Spaceship Earth. We rode the boat ride in the land. We went to Nemo's Living Seas, and we went to the Figment ride. And opinions on that stuff? Love the boat ride to the land. Love the boat ride in the land. Soarin', I don't remember. I think we might have done Soarin' that day because we might have had a fast pass. Or else we did it when we went back. I don't remember. I think it was just my sister and I that got to do Soarin'. I don't remember if my mom got to do Soarin' with us because she went with us the next day because she loves Epcot too. I feel like she didn't get to do Soarin', but yeah, she didn't that time. But she's been on the old version. But this is a new version of Soarin', and Soarin' is incredible. The new version's incredible. Love Soarin'. That's the kind of ride. Wow. And I mean, as far as like coming up with new rides, that's awesome. It's kind of a thrill ride, but it's not, you know, it's not making me sick or anything. But I also love those slow boat rides and all that stuff. Epcot's so good. and Nemo. Okay, so we went to Nemo, and the only thing we did at Nemo, at the Living Seas, we're calling it Nemo now. Now, when I talk about how Nemo works with adapting the Living Seas, there are aspects of the old version that I really miss. There's that, I remember that big haunting movie you would see before you would get on the ride for the Living Seas. And then when you do get, and that movie's gone, they just put you on the ride. They're toning down the educational stuff to a certain degree. And it kind of took I mean, you can wander around the Living Seas and looking at the animals they have, the sea life, and learn stuff, but the forced learning is mostly gone. It's disappearing from EPCOT, and that's kind of sad, because it was cool. It was cool stuff, and anybody who didn't appreciate EPCOT or thought it was boring, I don't get that. EPCOT is so cool. I'm getting really nostalgic right now. I want to like watch some old Disney stuff, like from the 50s and stuff. Right now I might put on some old cartoons or some old Wonderful World of Disney episodes or something after this, or Disneyland, you know. But anyway, yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the Nemo ride. I did mention this in the video. A lot of it relies on film footage, not from the movie, but just what I mean is you're basically riding through this area, and they're just projecting Nemo and Marlin on the wall, and you know, it's like, where's Nemo? I'm looking for Nemo. And at the very end, you get to a real aquarium, and they have somehow inserted Nemo and Marlin and Dory into this real aquarium. So real fish are swimming by, and also the Nemo characters, it's like they're real, and they're in the real water. And that's awesome. What disappointed me in this ride is that I had originally thought that that's what the whole ride was going to be, but instead they were just like TVs, you know, embedded in the wall, like with like coral around it to where it was like hidden. But it's kind of a disappointing ride. I wonder how the Disneyland one is, because they basically converted the 20,000 Leagues ride into that, into a Nemo ride, and it's actually out in the lagoon, and I wonder what it's like. I was really disappointed. I was heartbroken when they got rid of the lagoon in Florida, because we always go to Florida, and I really want to go to California, but and all the other Disney parks, but I haven't had a chance. They've got rides I'm dying to ride at Disneyland in California. I was there when I was like 5 or something. That was like a long time ago, before they had a lot of, like, I'm dying to try out the Indiana Jones ride and Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit is my favorite movie ever, and I've never been on the ride. It's in California, and I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, and haven't been on that ride either. But so I'm dying to get out to California. And there's some stuff, you know, I've never been to California Adventure. They've got stuff there that I want to do. But anyway, so that was, you know, Nemo and Friends. All we did was the ride. Last time we went to Disney, we finally got to do Turtle Talk with Crush, which my mom didn't care for, but my sister and I really enjoyed. Just, you know, we were just watching, you know, you're just sitting there because he's mainly talking to little kids. But I love everything about Disney's Living Character Initiative. I've seen footage of things that I haven't gotten to experience, like when Bunsen and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets is driving a little cart around EPCOT. I heard they're bringing that back. I would love to see that. Or now they have a Muppet show where they're popping out of the windows in Magic Kingdom and in Liberty Square. I would love to see that. And I've seen footage of a Dumbo flying over the park that is so realistic looking. I don't know how they did it, if they used drones or what, but it's an amazing looking thing. Why they don't always have him there flying over the Dumbo circus area, I don't know. But they really should do that. It's amazing. And Remy, it's like, I love Disney's Living Character Initiative, but I've only gotten to see a few things. All I've really seen that I would you know, I'd put Turtle Talk with Crush in that, you know, under that label maybe. I've seen the Beauty and the Beast characters during the Belle's little story thing, where you see a really realistic Lumiere and wardrobe. So I've seen a few things that I would call living character initiative stuff. Maybe some I'm forgetting. Probably. I haven't experienced talking Mickey yet. I haven't experienced a few different things, but I really wish they'd bring back Dreamfinder and Figment, because that could be, it was just a puppet, but that was like a real live Figment right there. Some people say they should get rid of Figment altogether, and maybe they will. That would break my heart. If that happens, that'll break my heart. But yeah, so that's what we did on the Living Seas area. And then we went to the Figment ride, I call it that, but the Imagination Pavilion, and rode on Journey into the Imagination with Figment, I guess they call it now. Yeah, I think it used to be with Dreamfinder. And that ride it's like the third version of the ride, I think. And the second version was awful, if I'm remembering correctly, as far as like how many versions. The second version was awful. The first ride was amazing. The second, awful. The third, I like the third. It was better than I remembered it. I talked about this in the video, that there's like little references to scientists from Disney history, film history and stuff in the ride. And Eric Idle is awesome. I like that he's part of it. I loved Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, or was it? No. Thinking of the movies. I loved Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. I don't remember if they have Captain EO going right now, or if they don't have anything going, because we just rode the ride and got out of there, because we were trying to make our reservation at Tokyo Dining. So from Figment, we got to the ferry. I mean, normally we spend a full day at Epcot. This was like a half day at Epcot, so we were just trying to get to our reservation at Tokyo Dining, and then I think we were gonna go home after that, go back to the hotel, because we had to change for Halloween. So we went to Tokyo Dining, and Tokyo Dining was so good. First, the entire Japan Pavilion, I was gonna say Japanese Pavilion, the entire Japan Pavilion, our favorite pavilion in the park, because Mitsukoshi, I believe is what is the name. It's just like shopping. It's like a little department store. I shouldn't say little. It's a nice big department store. The front area is like anime themed stuff, and then you go on, and then it becomes modern traditional like Japanese stuff, and then more old-fashioned traditional stuff. You can get fitted for like kimonos and all that stuff. And then the back area, and there's an area where they have all these different kinds of chopsticks you can get. And there's an area, the back area is like snack foods like from Japan, like all the different kinds of treats people like to buy here, like all those weird tasting. They had like the green tea Kit Kats are the ones that always stick in my mind. But I mean, of course, they have all the weird to us in America stuff. They just have like it's like a whole like snack area, and like a whole area of little like baubles, like little like, I don't mean baubles like bobbleheads, but little like the little good luck cat and all that, this little stuff like that you can take, that you can buy to like for like good luck or good fortune or whatever. They have I mean, just, it's everything that you would want in like a Japanese department store. And and they have like a Studio Ghibli section, which is by the way, I learned it's Studio Ghibli. It is Studio Ghibli. So the Studio Ghibli section, which I love Studio Ghibli, even though at this point I'm way behind on their movies. I've only seen like at this point I've only seen a handful of Studio Ghibli movies, but I love them. And I own even less right now. I really need to catch up with those. But yeah, I love the Studio Ghibli section. Kiki's Delivery Service, my favorite Ghibli movie. So yeah, we enjoyed the department store, and then we went up for our reservation. And I mean, they're just so nice. The ladies who work at Tokyo Dining, there was actually, it's mostly ladies. There was our server that first day was a male, and he was super nice too. They're just so nice. And they came out and sang happy birthday to my sister when it was, you know, when we had ordered dessert. And it was a great like meal plan. Because they recently changed the menu, which we were kind of disappointed in. A few things that we like were not there, but they still have some good stuff on the menu. Plus, they, I mean, it's not very traditional, but they have a New York strip on there that is so good. And you know, you can get, you know, I that's what I got. It was delicious. I also got something else. I think I got the I probably got the shrimp. I can't remember what it's called. The fried shrimp that they have, tempura shrimp, I guess, and as an appetizer. And then I had the New York strip, and then we got like green tea ice cream, and yeah, they brought her ice cream out with a little candle, and they were singing. I don't know what they were singing. It was in Japanese, but it was, I think it was in Japanese. Yeah, I got a video of it, the tail end of it. But yeah, so they were so sweet. And they're always so nice there, and the food is so good, and it's just a beautiful restaurant. If you ever go to EPCOT, go to Tokyo Dining, eat at Tokyo Dining. It is so gorgeous. Highly recommend that. And then from there, we went back to the hotel room. I'm pretty sure that was our next move from that. I'm checking my video out. That is behind me. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we went back after that to the hotel room to get ready for Halloween. And so we had to check on our mom because she had been ill. And then we got our costumes on. And I, if you watch the video, was dressed as Pete from, not from Pete's Dragon, from the old Mickey Mouse cartoons. And I kind of like concocted this costume last Halloween. You know, I put on so much weight that I have to like pick characters that like if I dress like Popeye, you'd be like, oh, that's a nice Bluto costume. So you know, you have to pick a character that fits you. I gotta lose weight for next Halloween. I got to, but I dressed as Pete, and I had a hat that says Dog Catcher. I wore this last Halloween on 6th Street. And I had a big net, you know, because I was a dog catcher, but I was Pete, and I should have like had the name Pete on my shirt, but I didn't do that. If I ever wear it again, I'll do that. I'll put the name Pete there, and I had a Pluto plush toy in my net, but of course you can't take a big metal net into Disney World, so yeah, I just had my cigar, and that was it. And I had shown this before in a previous video, but I got some gloves that were better than the ones I had in Halloween 6th Street the previous year. But anyway, I went as Pete. My sister went as this 50s Mickey Mouse Club Mouseketeer, but herself, because it had her name there. And we went with our mom. We probably got a little, my mom got a little something from the concierge service, and we headed over to the Magic Kingdom. Now, and it's great because the monorail at the Grand Floridian, this is one of the great things about the Grand Floridian, is that the monorail picks you up right at the on the second floor of the hotel. This is not the contemporary. The monorail actually goes through the hotel, through the middle of the hotel. But this one, you know, you go right on the balcony, or they have like a little area, pickup area, where you just go right out your hotel and get on the monorail, and it's excellent. The thing that's not so excellent is it actually takes you to like I think the parking area or some other area, and you have to transfer to another monorail. So not as convenient as you'd think. Now in this one, I'm trying to remember if that was just from EPCOT or if that was also the case with the Magic Kingdom, if you also had to transfer. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. I feel like you did. Yeah, so we didn't get to the Halloween party. We didn't get to the Magic Kingdom as early as we wanted to, because you can actually get in early at the Magic Kingdom with your Halloween party ticket. You can get a couple of hours early, I think. I don't know if that's way more than accurate, but I think you can. Anyway, so we went over there in our costumes, and like they took us around to a side entrance or something. I don't remember. I think they did. Yeah, they had us go through some other side area to get into the park, and it still took us to the front of the park. But everybody with that, because you had to get your little Halloween party pass thing. They were handing them out somewhere at the front. I don't know. But anyway, so we start walking in, and they're handing us. They give you a Halloween trick-or-treat bag. It's already got some candy in it, and it's the good stuff, by the way. Because I thought Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's trick-or-treating all night. You go to like these stations all over the park where you just say trick-or-treat, and they give you the good stuff. They have a deal with Mars candy, so you get Snickers. You get various types of Snickers. You get various types of M&Ms. You get various types of Skittles and just mainly Mars candy. They also had Dove candy bars and just a few other things, but mostly Mars stuff. Good stuff. There was a little bit more variety the previous year, but it was still all good stuff, you know. And by the way, my costume was such a hit at this place. Like, I wore this on 6th Street, and people, you know, a few people knew who I was. A few people didn't, you know, from anybody I interacted with. But here, almost everybody. I mean, you had a kid now and then who thought I was a big bad wolf. You had, you know, just like on 6th Street, there was one person who, and this was sad because it was a cast member, who thought I was Barf from Spaceballs, but most of the people, especially the cast members, were getting a real kick out of seeing a Pete. No, apparently nobody ever dresses as Pete. Pete, I was explaining this before. Pete, the villain from the old Mickey Mouse cartoons, and he's still even in the Mickey Mouse Playhouse and all that. But anyway, so yeah, the costume was a big hit. My sister's costume was so good. I kind of felt bad that I got such a big reaction from mine, because hers was like amazingly accurate and really just gorgeous costume. But you do see people dressed as Mouseketeers, and apparently nobody has ever dressed as Pete for the Halloween party, or maybe for anything ever. I don't know. So which is cool, because I was worried about, for a while there, I did not know what I was going to wear to this trip. You know, I wanted to wear something. We never have dressed up for the Halloween party before. I mean, we've only been there once before, but I had a Wreck-It Ralph costume, but I didn't really want to wear that because there's an actual Wreck-It Ralph in the Halloween parade, but there's no Pete anywhere. So, yeah, it worked out great. And you can see pictures of this stuff again. You can see it on Instagram, my Instagram, places like that. And the videos, of course. And so the first thing we did when we got to the park, we went to Tomorrowland, because my sister's obsessed with Carousel of Progress. I love it too. I mean, we all love Carousel of Progress. Like I say, I'm the one who's really old school Disney, and but my sister is really into the parks, especially. I'm really into all things Disney, you know. My sister's heavy into the parks, and especially in recent years, because she's the one who plans all these trips. By the way, my phone is going to stop in a minute here, and I'm going to have to like edit in the next segment of this video. But anyway, so we went to Carousel of Progress, and then we went to the People Mover, because people, I think we did that after. And the People Mover is just, you know, you just lay back and you're just riding around Tomorrowland from above. It's just a nice, relaxing ride, and we love that one too, because it's a really old school ride. It's a ride that's been there, I don't know, maybe since the park opened. I don't know. And yeah, so then we got off of that. We avoided Stitch's Great Escape because everybody knows that's a terrible ride. I was so disappointed last year when I finally got to ride Stitch's Great Escape, and it was just horrible because I love Stitch, and yeah, it's one of the few plush toys I still like. I'm hanging on to because I love Stitch, but that ride should have been so much better, that attraction, because the previous attraction in that slot was way better, Alien Encounter. But anyway, so yeah, we didn't do that. But we went to, I went to the stores in Tomorrowland because I was on a mission to find a couple of things. And this is where I got pretty disappointed as far as souvenirs go. I wanted to get two things at Magic Kingdom. I wanted to get an R2-D2 action figure that was supposed to be there, specifically Halloween themed. It was the Star Tours R2-D2, and they usually have that because I got the holiday one there at the Magic Kingdom. Last Christmas they had a Christmas R2-D2, and this year they had a new kind of Christmassy one, but they also had a Halloween one this year, and they didn't have him. It's possible that they were only selling him this year at Star Tours, which is at Hollywood Studios, which we didn't even go to on this trip. We didn't go to Hollywood Studios. We didn't go to Animal Kingdom because it was a short trip. And so they didn't have that one, and I was really disappointed. I might still try to get them off eBay or something if the prices are not ridiculous. Yeah, because I got two of the Christmas one last year. I got one, and I actually used it on our cake, our Christmas cake last year. So yeah, I wanted at least one of the Halloween one. But no dice, they didn't have it. So that was strike one. And then we were starting to like get close to the time the trick-or-treating was going to start happening. So we went over to the nearest trick-or-treating station that was also, it wasn't the nearest trick-or-treating station, but it was a trick-or-treating station. But we went to this direction, the Dumbo Circus area, Dumbo's Fantasy Circus or something, I don't know. But I don't have all the names like memorized of the different like attractions, but that are newer. I think it was Storybook Circus, Dumbo's Storybook Circus. Okay, we went over to this area because this is the area in the big souvenir shop. Once again, we were cut for time. So where was I? Went to the Dumbo Storybook Circus area, to the big souvenir tent, because I was seeking some specific Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party souvenirs on this particular trip. And the ones I was particularly looking for were Hocus Pocus themed, because of the Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular show that they've started to do, hopefully every year from now on for quite some time. This is the second year that they do the show, and it's a fantastic show. We love it. If you love the movie Hocus Pocus, if you really love that movie, you got to go see this show. Well, you can watch it on YouTube, honestly. There's the Diz Unplugged, I believe, has posted like the full show in really good quality and everything, and you got to watch it. It's amazing. So this year they actually had some merchandise other than shirts. Last year they had like a sweatshirt or something, but a hoodie that I actually would like to get off eBay someday or something, but they're not cheap, and all that stuff was sold out last year, so we were hoping to get something this year. This year they had a pin with the Sanderson sisters on it and says Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular 2016, and they had an ornament. Now I collect ornaments, so that's really what I wanted. I didn't really want the pin so much as I wanted the ornament. Well, no luck on the ornament. Sold out long time back, apparently. So I didn't get the ornament, and I was extremely disappointed because I didn't get the R2 unit. I didn't get the ornament. Those were the two things that I really wanted on this trip. So I didn't get anything. Went to started to do some trick-or-treating in that area, in the circus area, and took some pictures because the circus is partially themed to Pete, the character I was dressed as. It's sort of Dumbo's circus, but it's also Pete's circus. Pete is the one who, or Pete's sideshow or something. I'm trying to remember. I think it's like Pete's sideshow or something like that. But Pete is like the manager of this area of the circus, at least part of it. Even though there is still no costume Pete walking around anywhere. So it was pretty cool for me. I wish I had been dressed as a circus manager or a circus ringmaster or something. But, you know, I still had my dog catcher hat on and everything. But I still took some cool pictures right next to these giant billboards of Pete. So that was pretty cool. And definitely got a lot of smiling cast members and friendly complimentary cast members due to my costume who were working in the Pete circus area. So anyway, we did some trick-or-treating there, and the trick-or-treating is so good. I mean, you go in, you get the good stuff. You can go to, like, some areas have like 3 people in a row that are passing out candy to you, and you can go to each one. Or you can just go back to the back of the line and come back in again. You can leave with as much candy as you want at this Halloween party. And so we did that, and then I decided, you know what, I want some kind of souvenir. I haven't really seen anything that really grabbed me this year, and I really want that Hocus Pocus ornament. I mean, I want something of Hocus Pocus. I wanted the ornament. I didn't have the ornament, but I wanted something, so I went back and I got the pin. And that's the pin. And if at all possible, I will get the Hocus Pocus ornament on eBay, but I know the prices are absurd. You're getting a good deal if you get it for twice the cost. So that's how it is trying to buy it online. Most people are selling it for more than that. So, but I'd really like to land that ornament, and I still want that R2-D2. I can probably get the R2-D2 at a reasonable price, but I don't know for sure. The ornament, though, that's a problem. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get that, and someday I'm going to try to get that hoodie, too. But I know they didn't have my size anyway, so I got to shrink to fit in that. But, yeah, so I got the ornament, and we went trick-or-treating, and we went all over Magic Kingdom trick-or-treating. We started there at the Dumbo Circus area, and we went towards, I think we went through Tomorrowland, and then we went back around and we went to Fantasyland. And while we were in Fantasyland, we went on a few rides. We went on Peter Pan, Small World. We went on, there are some rides that are not open during the parties, the Christmas party and the Halloween party. I think Jungle Cruise is one that does close. I don't think we got to ride the Jungle Cruise, which Jungle Cruise is among my favorites because when I was a little kid, I think that one was my favorite. I mean, nowadays it's more of a toss-up for me between, well, for Magic Kingdom, it's probably Pirates of the Caribbean and Magic Kingdom, but which you definitely can get on. And Halloween, during the Halloween party, you can definitely ride Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, pretty much most of the stuff is open. We ride Carousel of Progress first because that one does close, and it's a family favorite, especially for my sister. And but I'm not sure what others close. We rode we rode, like I said, It's a Small World, Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh. I think we rode Winnie the Pooh twice and Peter Pan twice. And yeah, it's the lines are generally short. I mean, they say, oh, it's walk on. It's not really walk on. There's a lot of people at these parties now, and every year it's like the park numbers might be down, but as far as parties go, every year it's like more and more people. But we ended up with a ton of candy, and we got to ride all that stuff. We worked our way to Haunted Mansion from Fantasyland, and We went into the Haunted Mansion. We rode that probably twice. I don't remember. Probably twice. And we worked our way over to Frontierland. And yeah, it was getting pretty late by the time we were in Frontierland, and my dogs were barking, that's for sure. But we were going through Frontierland, and it was kind of dead. There kind of wasn't anybody there, and you felt like the park was closing, and it wasn't that late. I mean, the time was ticking, but it wasn't that late. But Frontierland, there wasn't too many people out there when we were actually walking through the street, and we thought about going to Country Bears, and we thought about you know, doing this or that, but we wanted to get back. We wanted to make sure we saw the parade. We wanted to make sure and we like to do that on Main Street. You can do that in Frontierland, but we wanted to do it on Main Street. And we wanted to, because well, I guess the Horseman rides down Frontierland too, but I don't know, we like it on Main Street. It would have been pretty cool there, actually, to see the Headless Horseman going through the Frontierland area. But anyway, so we went through Frontierland, and oh yeah, we were trying to get to Pirates of the Caribbean, I guess. And it was so cool when we went through Frontierland, because they started playing Old Yeller, like the music, like the old Disney movie song. They played the Swamp Fox, which is one of my all-time favorites, which a lot of people don't know. It's an old, you know, Disney TV show, TV miniseries from their anthology show. And they might have played Davy Crockett too. I don't know. They were playing these like really old Disney like TV songs, and you don't hear that kind of stuff. You don't hear or even see enough, you know, classic Disney live action stuff going on at the parks anymore. So whenever you do, it's like, I don't really love doing the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse that much anymore, except for like when I haven't been to the park in years or haven't done that attraction in years. But I would be really sad if they take it down, or if they change it, like they changed it in California to Tarzan's Treehouse, and that's okay, because that just makes that one different from the Florida one. But I love anything I find in the parks that reminds me of classic live action Disney, because a lot of people don't even know that Disney made live action movies before Pirates of the Caribbean or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And they did. I mean, all the way back to the 50s, you know? So, yeah, I love those. I mean, when they got rid of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, that was really sad whenever they do that, you know. They still got the Liberty Tree. They've, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean now is tied to live action, but not classic live action. There's just not much of that. So yeah, if they ever, I wish they would add more, but you know, losing the submarines really sucked. But I loved it, that moment. That was like the magical moment of the night for me, when I was walking down Frontierland and they were playing those classic songs and very Frontierland appropriate songs. So cool. And and I mean, we were walking down the street, and I mean, it was being blasted, you know, out around us. It was just amazing. And we got to Adventureland. It's around the corner from Frontierland. Got a hair in my mouth or something. Lint. And we went on Pirates of the Caribbean, and we were kind of trying to move faster at this point, because we were trying to make it for the parade and the Hocus Pocus show. And so we went on Pirates, and we probably did it twice, because there's certain rides you got to do twice, especially on Halloween, but we always do Pirates twice. We always do Haunted Mansion twice, really, and we always do Pirates twice. And all along the way, of course, we're trick-or-treating anywhere there's a spot for it. And Pirates is just so good. I thought there was a scene in the beginning where you could see a mermaid swimming in the water that they added after the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie, the fourth one, But like when I look there now, I don't see that mermaid there anymore. I'm pretty sure there was one there. Anyway, that kind of sucks because I actually like that fourth movie. I love mermaids and they're a big part of that movie. I'm gonna watch that movie, I think, like when I'm done with this. But anyway, yeah, so cool. Oh, by the way, some of these Disney employees are so cute. Not just the characters. Oh, but the characters are amazing. They have done a phenomenal job casting the characters in the past few trips I've taken. When we started, ever since we started revisiting these parks, I mean, they've just done a great job with the casting, especially the last two trips. I think is what I'm thinking of. The last two trips have been great, 2 or 3 maybe. Especially like the Festival of Fantasy Parade. The princesses are gorgeous and they're perfectly cast. Oh, I saw an Alice. Oh my God, I saw an Alice at the Magic Kingdom during this Halloween party who was just gorgeous and perfectly cast as Alice. And it was during the Halloween party, but I'm the only one who cares about taking pictures and meeting and taking pictures with characters. My sister will do it sometimes if it's convenient, but and my mom doesn't even want to be in pictures much. But so yeah, you know, I'm like, oh my God, there's Alice, and they're just like, yeah, that's nice. Let's go trick or treat. They just want this candy, you know, and I'm like, I want to meet Alice. It was like I have a thing for Alice costume girls. I mean, you know, legal age Alice costume girls. I just like that costume on girls. But didn't get to meet that Alice, and she was gorgeous. Oh, and this was during the Halloween party, 2016. If you're out there, Alice. I know they have several, but it was oh wow. And yeah, and of course there's a lot of cute girls passing out candy. I've always noticed that. I remember there was one, the entry to Stitch's Alien, Stitch's Escape. There was a really cute one there. There was probably one at the Pirates of the Caribbean. There usually is. I don't know. They've got some cute girls working there, man. They've got really cute girls passing out the candy. But anyway, so we went to Pirates a couple times, and I'm painfully single. All I think about is cute girls and Disney and toys, and I get lost in my head. Where was I? We went from Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't believe we got to ride the Jungle Cruise. Oh no, but we trick-or-treated there. There was a trick-or-treat station at the Jungle Cruise. And then we came from there. We didn't get to do Tiki Room, I don't think. Yeah, we didn't do anything but Pirates in the Adventureland. And then we came to, we were leaving Adventureland, and Aladdin was there. And I forget if he was with Genie or who he was with. I think he was with Abu. So, and it still would have been cool, but his line was just too long. And again, we were trying to make it over to the main street. But Jafar was there. And I don't know, I wanted a picture with Jafar. I was dressed like a Disney villain. I've never dressed like a Disney villain before. And like an unusual Disney villain, like the first ever Disney villain. I wanted to picture with another Disney villain. So even though it was kind of weird, he just like stared at me all weird, and I was just like, But I took a picture with Jafar. I had to wait quite a while actually, which we were in a rush, and they started doing the fireworks, so we didn't really get to watch the fireworks. I think we just saw, like, I don't know, I didn't realize it was the actual fireworks going on. I don't know, maybe we were in the ride during part of it. Anyway, so overall we missed the fireworks show. But I got a picture with Jafar. And then we went on to Main Street, and they did Hocus Pocus. Love that show so much. The cast is amazing. It's like really watching Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy. And then they bring out they bring out Dr. Facilier, and he's amazing, and Oogie Boogie, and all the Disney villains. It's a great show. They need to keep this show running indefinitely. It's a shame it took this long for the Sanderson sisters to be a part of the Disney Halloween party. They should have a float, a Hocus Pocus float in the parade. They should have been running this party from the beginning. And they have them, and then before the parade, you know, they have the Headless Horseman. I mean, they got it perfect now. They got things down pat. They just need to come up with some friggin' Sanderson sisters dolls and stuff, because I want some Hocus Pocus merchandise. I wanted it ever since the early 90s when the movie came out. And all I've ever been able to get was the movie itself. And now a pin. I want action figures. I want a whole line of Disney action figures, 6-inch action figures that are, you know, this quality, like Black Series quality. They need to spin off. They've got Marvel Legends. They've got Star Wars Black Series. They need a 6-inch action figure line in the same thing. This is just Disney movies, both animated and live action, and TV shows. Just, you know, wave one. DuckTales, Scrooge, you know, Winifred Sanderson. You know, I've already got a Rocketeer. I don't know. See, my Rocketeer is 7 inches, so we still need a 6-inch. I know he's 6 inches. That's the trouble with 6-inch figures. I got a 6-inch figure here and another 6-inch figure, and they're not in scale. Oh well, I'm off topic. I want a line of 6-inch Disney action figures in line with Black Series and Marvel Legends, and I want the Hocus Pocus cast in that first wave. Anyway, so amazing show. It's worth getting out there just for that. And then we sat down along the side. The first time ever that I got an amazing seat for the parade on Main Street. Just right outside the Crystal Palace almost, you know. Just a little bit closer to the castle than that, but just barely. Basically right outside of the Crystal Palace, and or Casey's hot dog place or whatever it is. But right on the curb, sitting on the curb there, and they came by and they had me hold the sign that says Mickey's Not So Scary, and they took a picture of me there. So I actually had to buy that picture. It was really cool. And then the Headless Horseman comes down the street, and he's amazing and eerie and everything and freaky. That'd be something to see him walk out around, ride his horse around outside Haunted Mansion, but I don't think he does that area. But amazing. Yeah, it's a real guy on a real horse, and he's got no head and everything. I think he's carrying a pumpkin and everything. I don't remember, but I think I've got some video footage in one of those videos too of that. And he rides his horse down the street, and then after a while, the parade. And the parade is so good. The Halloween parade. Some people say it's the best parade. I mean, my sister likes it, I think, better than the Christmas parade. I love them both. I love the Christmas party, and I love the Christmas parade. I can't pick between the Halloween and Christmas at Disney. I can't pick between anything Halloween and Christmas. I love them both. But yeah, it was amazing. And then after the parade, we walked through the shops, and we left a little early. I mean, we didn't. By that I mean we didn't stay till closing, which is just because we were tired. I mean, normally we always stay till closing. The Halloween party runs really late though, and you know, we always want to do something the next day. But then you are paying specifically for the party, so it's best to stay to the end, and we usually do. I'd say we were pretty close to staying to the end, but it's a big crowd you have to beat when you leave. So yeah, I'm trying to think of is this the day that we switched parks? No, this isn't the day. I mean, switched hotels. this isn't the day, but the next day we were gonna go to EPCOT, and then we were gonna switch hotels, and then we were gonna go to Horror Nights, I think. Oh no, we were gonna go to Horror Nights the next day. But anyway, we had a busy day ahead of us. So yeah, so we left after that, and it was a good night. And we had a ton of candy back at the room, and it was pretty cool. But it was also sad because it was our last night at the Grand Floridian. I'm trying to think of anything I forgot. We rode the merry-go-round. I forgot, at Fantasyland. That was fun. I shot some footage on that. We walked by the dance party, or the Monsters Inc. dance party, which we don't really, that was in Tomorrowland. We don't, get involved with the dance parties, but I shot a little footage of that. It's cool to see Mike and Sully, we just walked by and I shot a little footage of it. But yeah, we had a great time. And we got all this great candy. We came back from that party pretty happy, very tired, very sore, because the trick-or-treating really is a lot of walking, because you're like, I don't know, something about the parties. It's like you do that kind of walking anytime at the parks, but something about the party and the way you're frantically trying to collect candy, or during Christmas you're trying to hit the free cookie and cocoa sections, and you're going all over the park because you're trying to hit certain attractions and stuff. I don't know, somehow the parties wear you out more than a full day at the park. At the end of one of these parties, my feet are killing me, and I just want to sit somewhere. But and I'm at the parks I'm usually pretty energetic, but the parties wear you out. But they're fun. I mean, my sister is she's just always had so much energy. She can walk from one side of the park to the other 100 times and not slow down. And I've always been kind of a turtle, I guess, but I like to just enjoy everything and take it easy. And rather than do that, I prefer to just have more days and just go back the next day and see what I missed, rather than trying to race around. But we have a good time, and we get to do a lot. And I probably just need to get in better shape, and then I'll be back to my racing around the parks, way I used to. Yeah, we got some great footage of that stuff, so I'd check that out if you're interested. And the next day was day 3 for us, and on that day we went to EPCOT with our mom this time. Let me see. We got some breakfast at the concierge, and again, it was phenomenal. Not like, again, it's not like Embassy Suites, but just the fact that it's just so neat to be at Disney and actually get your food, like your breakfast and everything. Because we used to always stay at Embassy Suites, and we still do when we take trips to places where the hotel is not part of the attraction. Lately, we've tried to stay at more unusual places. But, if we go to, like, say, Oklahoma to visit my sister's family, we'll stay at the Embassy Suites because we get a great breakfast there. Technically, you're kind of paying for it, but it's great. And it's just nice at Disney to actually be able to get breakfast right there at your hotel. Although I normally like, I normally like to hit the character breakfasts. So I guess that's one thing I was missing with this, because I love that princess breakfast at Epcot, and I love the Winnie the Pooh breakfast at the Magic Kingdom, and I love the what's the other, the one I mentioned at our hotel, which we actually didn't do this time, but because we had this great free breakfast, so that was cool. So we had breakfast, and we went to Epcot, and our mom was there this time, and I actually didn't get much footage of Epcot this time. Oh yeah, now I remember why. I was having a little trouble because of two things. well, one thing actually was it was my phone. It just kept getting filled up with video, and I had nowhere to put the videos. So as the trip went along, I was like having this issue of like, you know, there's no more space on my phone. So I would try to upload it to YouTube and just keep it in private, just to like use it for storage, and then delete what was on my phone. And that's what I eventually ended up doing, but I wasn't getting the best reception for a while. I didn't realize that, you know, the Wi-Fi was free at the you know, the concierge level and all that, or at Disney World in general. I guess it is all free now. So I had to connect to the Wi-Fi. Once I figured that out, I was able to free up some space. But this last day at EPCOT, I didn't have that going yet, so so I didn't have much space on my phone. So I only managed to film very quickly at Tokyo Dining, and I think a little bit on the way. I think we passed by Germany, and I got a little bit of a band that was performing there. So that was all I filmed that day. But basically, we came into the park, and I think we went straight to Tokyo Dining. And because our mom didn't get to go the previous day, and she you know, she loves Tokyo Dining too. So we made reservations, and we went straight to Tokyo Dining. And it's possible we did a little bit of the World Showcase first. I'm not sure, but our main thing, especially lately, we prefer World Showcase to Future World. I just got the low battery notice, but yeah, we prefer World Showcase to Future World somewhat, because there are far less attractions there at Future World now that we like compared to what there used to be. But there's still a few great ones. And of course, you know, Tokyo Dining, which is one of 2 restaurants above the department store in Japan. The other one is one of those, I forget what you call them, where the chefs are chopping the food right at your table, and, you know, I forget what that kind of restaurant is called. I've never been to one of those restaurants, one of those Japanese restaurants where they're chopping the food up right at your table. But Tokyo Dining is a more traditional Japanese restaurant, and again, we got another, of course, very, very sweet waitress, and again, we got them coming out singing when they brought my sister her birthday dessert, because she still had her birthday pin on, of course. So she got that experience twice, and this time I got a little bit of it on video. I was messing with my phone. It wasn't working right, but I finally got it to record right at the end of their little birthday song. And yeah, it was really nice. The food was really good. I got the New York strip again because it's pretty great. It's a really great deal that they have. Basically, they have on the menu, they have some extra options. It might be on the back, I don't remember, but that are like special deal options that you get, like dessert, and you get, I don't know if you get an appetizer. I think you get the appetizer, the meal, and the dessert for like $30 per person or something, which is really good at a place like that. We were trying to be budgetary, but we actually got to get our 3 courses there, and it was fantastic as always. And then we probably went downstairs to the shops, to the department store again, because we can't get enough of that. My mom wanted to see it. I forgot to mention in that store, one of the interesting things, they have like a jewelry section, and in that jewelry section, they have oysters on ice, and you can select an oyster, and they'll open it up, and you know, there'll be a pearl inside, and you pay a certain amount of money to pick an oyster, and you might get 1 pearl out of the oyster, you might get 2, you might get a special colored pearl, or you might not get a pearl, but then they'll let you pick another one because you paid, you know, for a pearl. It's really neat. It's really interesting. It's always been one of the neat things about that store. Although lately I'm like checking out all the Studio Ghibli stuff, but Yeah, so we have a lot of fun, and we love to go to Japan, the Japan section especially. But then we went to the other parts of World Showcase, and again they were doing the Food and Wine Festival, and again we didn't get anything because we just ate. Although we did go, we were making our way over to the Norway Pavilion, which is another real favorite of ours. We did ride the boat ride in Mexico. We always watch the movie in Canada because we love that movie. And we just went all throughout World Showcase, and we went through the shops. A lot of it is shops, and street performances. Don't recall if I don't think we saw any of the other movies. We were kind of rushed because we had to go back to the hotel because we were gonna move from one hotel to the other, and we had a driver who was going to be waiting for us to do that because we were going to a Universal hotel, Cabana Bay. So we were ultimately trying to get to Norway because we wanted to ride the new Frozen ride, and we had a fast pass. So we got to ride the new Frozen ride, and let me say that I love the old Norway boat ride. So I was kind of upset that this ride was going here because it's not old school EPCOT, educational, nostalgic. I love Frozen. I think Frozen's great. But I was, I wanted this ride to be like at Disney Hollywood Studios or Fantasyland. They redid Fantasyland. They should have put a Frozen section for sure. They could have a whole Frozen section there. But, oh well. So I just, I heard it was a great ride, so I went on it, and it's a great ride. It's a phenomenal ride. It's amazing. It was fantastic. Really, really enjoyed the Frozen ride. Highly recommend it. It's worth, if you've never been on it, it's worth whatever the wait. If you, if you like Frozen, but the way they do the effects is amazing. It was just a beautiful experience. I really loved it. I wish they still had the movie, at least the Norway movie, because we loved that movie too, and that's gone also. They need when they retire movies at Disney World, they need to sell a DVD of them, or Blu-ray. There should be a Blu-ray that I can buy at Epcot Center that has Captain EO, that has the original, Canada movie. Although I love the new Martin Short one, but it's still playing. They should have Honey, I Blew Up, Honey, We Shrunk the Audience. It should have all the movies that are retired. The original version of the China movie, I guess. I don't know, whatever. I think they redid that at some point. Anything that's retired, because I would totally buy that DVD. I mean, sometimes you can find that stuff on YouTube, but sometimes the quality's not that good. But that Norway movie, love that Norway movie. And then so after that, I guess I don't know exactly the order, but we went to the little bakery in Norway, the little pastry place, and I got some school bread. And my sister loves the rice pudding there. So, and we didn't do the food and wine festival, but we had planned to get that stuff, and so we did get that stuff, and because we like that a lot. And next time I go, I'm gonna get that macaroon ice cream sandwich they have in France, because that sounds cool. But anyway, yeah, I heard about that on a YouTube video, somebody's YouTube video. But we went pretty thoroughly through World Showcase. We went through the shop in China. There was a girl reading a book, all casual, on the bench outside the shop. God, she was gorgeous. It's like my dream girl right there. And at the same time, I'm like, that girl must live around here. That must be so nice to just be able to go to Epcot Center and read a book, or to go to Tom Sawyer Island and sit in the rocking chairs and take a nap. So yeah, it made me think about that. But also, God, she was gorgeous. Wow, I need to move there. Go to the parks and meet girls who love the parks. But anyway, probably half my age, which is fine. I don't date my age. Gross. Anyway, and then so we also I know we saw the American Adventure before we left, and we love the American Adventure. I've heard some people say, I've heard a lot of people say that the American Adventures, they should get rid of it, or it's not as good as Hall of Presidents. We love Hall of Presidents too. The American Adventure blows Hall of Presidents out of the water. Come on. I mean, really, Hall of Presidents is great, but American Adventure is amazing. And how do you not cry watching American Adventure? The Civil War thing, oh my God, the two brothers and everything. Oh God, we love the American Adventure, the Mayflower song and all that. Oh my God. Yeah, we can't not do American Adventure. I think that's the last thing we did, and then we got out of there because oh well, we did on the way out. We did Spaceship Earth one more time, and we went through the shop, the main souvenir shop. I was kind of like, I kept looking for that R2-D2 figure everywhere, because the Christmas one last year was pretty much everywhere. Not this year. No Halloween R2-D2. I guess you had to be at Star Tours, or I think they supposedly were supposed to sell it at Downtown Disney. What is it called now? Disney Springs. But we left there, and there was trouble with the monorail. It's funny, I thought we were leaving Magic Kingdom when we had trouble with the monorail, but I guess it was EPCOT. Anyway, there was trouble with the monorail, and they were changing the monorail or something. So by the time we got back to the park, the driver who was supposed to take us to the new hotel, I mean, we were like an hour late to see her, to meet him, but he was nice about it, and you know, we had to keep calling up saying we're trying to get there, but they're changing the monorail train, and so we're stuck here. But we finally made it over there, and we checked out, and we got checked in over at the at Cabana Bay, which is a fantastic 60s style, 50s and 60s style Universal hotel. It's like, I think it's the first Universal hotel that is up to like Disney level, you know. They've been kicking things up a notch with the Harry Potter stuff, and now with Cabana Bay, and I think they're opening a new hotel, or they just did. And Universal is becoming pretty cool. I mean, it'll never be Disney for me, but it's pretty cool. My phone's about to quit again. It's running out of space and it needs to be charged, but so I'll probably have to do another tack on here in a minute, but I'll keep talking until then. Yeah, I meant to get footage of the room in Cabana Bay, because the theming is so amazing. It's so like you're in the 50s or 60s. It's kind of like that in between there, but we tore up the room too fast. Took the, you know, there was Halloween candy everywhere, and I don't know, we made a mess. I brought up a pizza one night. I don't remember which night, but yeah, we I think it was after Halloween Horror Nights. On the way up, I grabbed a pizza or something. But the first night we were there, actually after we transferred hotels, yeah, we didn't go anywhere that night. We just hung out in Cabana Bay. And we love to do that because it's a great resort. And the next day we were gonna have Halloween Horror Nights, and we didn't get a ticket for Universal. We just got the Halloween Horror Nights ticket, so we didn't spend the day there because we were trying to do this trip on something of a budget, you know. Even though we love the we could spend all day at the Harry Potter area, like, but no, we didn't. We did do some of that after the Halloween parties, but the Halloween after we did all the haunted houses. I'm getting nervous because I know the phone's about to die, but I did get some footage of like the dining area of Cabana Bay. And we're back. I'm freezing. I had to put my hoodie on, and I'm still freezing. It's cold in here. It's middle of the night. It's actually almost daybreak, so I'm gonna try to go a little faster here. But we're on the final day, because that night, after we'd gone to EPCOT and we transferred hotels to Cabana Bay, and I mentioned I shot some footage of the dining area of Cabana Bay, which is an awesome area, and kind of an area where you spend a lot of time if you're just going from the hotel to the park and back and stuff. But didn't get any footage of the room, like I mentioned. We made it a mess of it too fast. But I highly recommend, if you're ever going to Universal in Florida, to stay at Cabana Bay, especially if you're just going for Halloween Horror Nights. It's a gorgeous hotel. The rooms are gorgeous. The theming is excellent. They have a bowling alley on the second floor, which we both times we've stayed there, we've gone bowling at the bowling alley. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's called Galaxy Bowl, and on our second day there, kind of. I mean, we stayed there 2 nights. The first night, you know, we just kind of got there and hung out a little bit. I don't know if I got pizza that night or the next night. I picked up a pizza downstairs, took it up to the room. I'm not sure if that was our final night or if that was the night we arrived. But anyway, the next day that we had Halloween Horror Nights to go to, we started off by going to the Galaxy Bowl, which is on the second floor, and a really great, you know, everything's got this running 50s and 60s theme. It's very cool, and we got this awesome sampler platter type thing at the Galaxy Bowl, which is totally delicious. It was like wings, and I'm not sure what it was called, but it had wings, it had mozzarella sticks, it had nachos. I think we got that, you know, the year before too, and we ate that. My sister got a free birthday cake or birthday brownie or something, and what did she? Yeah, I guess some kind of birthday brownie thing. And we went down to the well, we did some bowling, and then we went down to the buses to head out for Halloween Horror Nights. Now, at some point, I'm already getting tired from doing this video. Either the night before or that night, I got my lanyard. This is my Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights 26. That's the it's my second one, but it's the 26th Halloween Horror Nights. So this is the Chance themed lanyard. Chance is the sort of their, she's kind of a Harley Quinn ripoff, I'll be honest with you, but she's great. We enjoy Chance. We love Chance. We love Chance because we got to meet her at the dinner that we went to, which was right after we arrived at the park. We went to the park, and it had to be in the evening because there's a certain, you know, it's like going to Mickey's Not So Scary. If you don't go for the full day, then, you know, your ticket for the Halloween events, they start at a certain time. And usually they let you in a little early so you can do some other stuff. And we got in extra early because we were going to the dinner party, which is a whole extra thing, but it's worth it. We went to it's called the Scare Actors Dining Experience, and it's at the Universal Monsters Cafe. I think it's called the Classic Universal Monsters Cafe or something like that. And we thought it was going to be dinner like if you have breakfast at one of the Disney parks, or even, you know, another meal, any meal you have at the Disney parks, with character dining, where you're eating your meal and the characters come to your table, and it was like that. But we thought it would be the classic Universal monsters, which we had seen the previous year. They had Universal monsters on a specific street. So we thought the Wolfman was going to come to our table, Dracula, Frankenstein, and Creature, because that's the theme of the restaurant, which I always wanted to eat at this, well, ever since we went last time and I saw this restaurant. I really wanted to eat at this restaurant. But it wasn't the Universal Classic Monsters. It was the monsters that were of the theme for that year, the main one being Chance, which, like I said, is sort of their Harley Quinn ripoff kind of character. But again, she's great though. She's exactly like Harley Quinn, but she's pretty awesome. Actually, she's kind of more like, she's like a mix of Harley Quinn and Sherry Moon Zombie's character in what are those movies that Rob Zombie made? House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. Okay. Sherry Moon played Baby, which was a character that, after seeing her in that movie, I always thought she would make a good Harley Quinn, this actress. An excellent Harley Quinn, really, if she was, a little younger and everything, because, obviously they're going to cast young. They always do now. But even when I first saw her, I felt like she should be a little younger for Harley Quinn. But she would have played the role perfectly. This is how I imagine like a live-action Harley Quinn. And basically that's what Chance does. She acts and looks very much also like a Harley Quinn, So with black hair, which I guess Harley Quinn sometimes has in the comics now. But anyway, so it was Chance, who was hilarious, and she'll come to your table and make fun of you and take pictures with you, and she'll take some pretty risque pictures with you too, if you're not there with your mom and your sister. I didn't get a very risque picture with her, but yeah, I could have asked for one. I should have when my mom went to the restroom, because she came around a second time. But basically it was her, and it was Michael Myers was one of the characters that walked around and came to our table. And again, all this stuff is on video. I posted the videos. Like I said, I posted 3 videos on this trip a while back, so they're in my video section, and it's pretty easy to find them. But before any of the before Chance came to our table, I think first Michael Myers came to the table, maybe, but then a special guest of the dinner, Michael Aiello, and he's one of the creators of Halloween Horror Nights. He was going around to the tables. I think there were two creators there, him and another guy. I don't remember the names, but I'm not the Halloween Horror Night expert that some people are. The guys sitting at the table next to us, a group of guys, they had so many questions. I mean, these guys are such Halloween Horror Nights fans. I just filmed like this entire conversation that was largely instigated by the table next to us, but we were right there, because he was sort of discussing things with 2 tables at a time. He would sit in between, and he was just going from table to table, just talking about Halloween Horror Nights and answering questions. It was really cool. So it was quite an experience, and I got that in the video there. I didn't get the whole thing because, again, I was still struggling with my phone, trying to upload videos to YouTube and delete them from my phone, and I could never get to the point to where I had my phone totally free. But I caught a lot of this, like exchange with Michael Aiello, and I caught Chance coming over to my table, and Michael Myers a bit, and a few other characters, and it was just a really great experience, and it was an incredible all-you-can-eat meal. If you go over there for Halloween, go to the Scare Actors Dining Experience. It is awesome. I can't recommend that enough. It really made the night. It made the night amazing. And from there, let me see if I'm forgetting anything from that dining experience. I have to give Universal props. This is the second dining experience we went to at Universal. Last Christmas, we went to Mickey's Mickey's Christmas party, and also to the Universal has the Grinchmas thing, and so we spent a couple days at Universal. I think it was last Christmas, and we went to the Grinch breakfast. I think it was. No, it was a dinner or a breakfast. It was a breakfast. We went to the Grinch breakfast, and that was fantastic too. And the Grinch was awesome. I mean, it's totally based on the Jim Carrey movie, but it was awesome. We've been very impressed with the stuff Universal has been doing lately. When I look at the Universal theme parks, it's like the Harry Potter sections are amazing. I haven't gotten to ride the Harry Potter rides. That's one of the reasons I really want to shrink down, because those rides are strictly for smaller people. I mean, it's got like confining like things, and they have seats outside the rides for you to sit in to see if you're gonna fit in the ride, because you have to be fairly skinny to ride Universal rides, especially the new ones. So I wasn't able to ride the Harry Potter rides by a long shot. There's a couple rides at Disney that I can't really. The new Seven Dwarfs ride I haven't even tried, because I've heard skinny people say that they couldn't fit into that ride. And I know that the last time I rode Splash Mountain, it was kind of a nightmare because my legs were so cramped up in the cart, in the log ride. So yeah, I gotta shrink down so I can ride those Harry Potter rides, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and it really sucks to go there and not be able to ride the rides. But so yeah, and besides the whole Harry Potter experience, which is still great if you're a fan of Harry Potter, I haven't read the books, but I love the movies. Besides that, though, they have a few attractions that are cool. We rode the Simpsons ride. That was great, Wasn't impressed with the Mummy ride, and I love those movies. And I don't ride roller coasters. I haven't done the Spider-Man ride, which I really want to. Yeah, we haven't done too many. The Jurassic Park ride we loved. The E.T. ride, old school and cheesy as it is, we love that one. We didn't ride any rides this year. We didn't have time. We were just there for the Horror Nights, and we just wanted to make sure we hit every haunted house, because the previous year we were there for 2 nights at Horror Nights. So we did the haunted houses, and we had time for the Bill and Ted show and everything. We didn't do the Bill and Ted show this year. We heard it wasn't very good, but to be honest, we were all excited to see the Bill and Ted show the first year we went to Horror Nights, last Halloween, and Halloween before last, and it was kind of disappointing. It's entirely about pop culture references. It's like watching one of those pop culture comedy movies where it's like just reference movies, like Epic Movie and stuff like that, where it's just totally about referencing stuff. And we loved Bill and Ted, and the guys who played Bill and Ted were excellent. They made it worth seeing one time, but I probably will never go back to the Bill and Ted show unless I'm there for 2 nights or something. But yeah, they weren't very good. The show wasn't very good. The actors were great. It was just it wasn't great. But so we didn't do that. Literally all we did was the haunted houses, and then we went to spend time in Diagon Alley, and we spent the evening just messing around with we took our interactive wands that we bought last year at Ollivanders, and we brought them back, and we used them in Diagon Alley, and we got some butterbeer, and that's how we spent that night. We had a great time. We got some ice cream and some butterbeer, and that's what we did. But let me talk about the haunted houses, because That's a big thing. First, I'll say, again, the scare actor dining experience was amazing. The actress who plays Chance, she was amazing. I know that I think they have more than one, but and the one you get at the dining experience is the one who, the actual performer from the show. It's the same with the Grinch. You go to the Grinch breakfast, and the Grinch that's there, as I understand it, is the Grinch who's going to be in the big Grinch stage show later. You know, we didn't actually watch the Chance show because we were totally focused on getting all those houses done and getting to the Harry Potter area, because we love Diagon Alley and the other Harry Potter area. But this night we can only go to this one Harry Potter area, so because the other one is in another park. So we left the scare actor dining thing, and we went on to let's see, did we do some houses first? I know we ended up in a gift shop because it started raining horribly. And I don't remember if we did any houses before we got there, because it just poured rain, and we got stuck in the gift shop for like maybe, well, at least half an hour. And that was eating away at our time, and we were just trapped there at that gift shop. It was just torrential rain. We had to buy the clear plastic raincoat things. That's how bad it was. But eventually it stopped for the most part. But it was a very wet night, and my socks were soaked, my shoes were soaked, and I didn't need that on my tender feet after, you know, being at EPCOT for 2 days and everything, and trick-or-treating all over the place at Magic Kingdom. My feet did not need to be in soaked socks and shoes all night, but they were. By, you know, halfway through the night, I was like, oh gosh, you know, let's finish this. But it was fun, but, you know, it was uncomfortable extremely. But we managed to get all the houses done. So I'm going to go over the houses now. This is not in the order we did them. But I will say our favorite house, or at least my favorite house, I think it was both of my sisters also, was The Exorcist. So I'm just going to get that out of the way first. That was our favorite. We went through it twice. If you're a big movie buff, and especially if you think The Exorcist is if you don't think The Exorcist is an excellent movie, you're crazy. I mean, that is friggin' brilliant. That movie is extremely well made. It takes horror films to like Oscar level, you know. It's good stuff. Now, some people just don't like supernatural horror, and it is definitely a supernatural thing, but it's the acting, the tone, it's just incredible, you know. It's a beautiful movie, even though it's also, to me, it's like the scariest movie ever. There are visuals in that movie that are nightmare fuel for me. But it's definitely, to me, it's the scariest movie ever, you know. Aside from like super realistic, like just horrible murder stuff, but yeah, as far as giving you nightmares or something, The Exorcist is tops for me, you know. And this movie, the haunted house of it was so well done. I mean, it was like you were going into that movie. It was just intense. And then there's this one part towards the end where it's like you're in like the mind of a possessed person, you know. It's just crazy. It's horrific. It was really, really well done. Yeah, I mean, my sister was in tears after going through that one, not because she was scared, but because she just loves that movie so much. And it was like we got to be in the movie. Not that I would want to, but it was just so well done, you know. It was an emotional experience for her, you know. So yeah, loved that one. Last year, my favorite was American Werewolf in London, because that's my favorite horror film of all time. So that was an epic one for me. That'll never be topped for me. We went through that one, you know, a couple times at least. But yeah, back to this year. So Exorcist, It might have been I don't know if it was the first house we did, but yeah, that was definitely our favorite. Um, let's see, American Horror Story. American Horror Story was very, I don't know if I should say it was the second favorite. It was very good. It was probably our second favorite. There, the third. Okay, at this point, American Horror Story was covering 3 seasons of this show, and at the time, the show already had like 5 seasons. I think I'm getting that right. It had the first season, which was like the murder house one, and it had the freak show season, and then it had Hotel. And at the time, we had not yet seen Hotel. And after that, we saw Hotel when we got back from the trip. And I love Hotel. Hotel might be my favorite. But I liked Freak Show a lot too. It was a really good season. And at the time, not knowing Hotel, it was intriguing in the haunted house. The Freak Show part was awesome. The murder house. Yeah, American Horror Story was definitely. I think I was pretty sure it was our second favorite. Texas Chainsaw was great. I mean, these were all great. I don't know if I mean, Texas Chainsaw was. It's one of also a fave, not one of my top favorite horror movies, but it's a fave of mine. But I don't know. I'm trying to remember how I felt when I got out of that one. I think it might have felt a little repetitious, but in general, yeah, I liked it a lot. Krampus. I really loved the movie Krampus. I showed you that, I just got the Blu-ray. We saw it in theaters when it came out. I guess was it last Christmas that it came out, or was it the summer? I don't remember. But we really loved it. I wasn't that impressed with the house. Aspects of it were great. I don't know. I for some reason I really wanted to be blown. I think Krampus is such an interesting subject. It's such a weird Christmas thing. And they did a good job with it. I don't know. I expected to like it more. I think it was my mom's favorite, but that's because my mom loves Christmas. What else? They had one called Ghost Town that was like a Wild West ghost town type theme, and it was good. It was good. It was good for an original house that wasn't based on a movie. We enjoyed it. We only went through it once. I think that was the first one we went through, actually. My sister kept saying she wanted to do it again because it didn't really register that much with her. Because she was just, I don't know, we had just gotten there and she wasn't, I guess, fully ready to take it in. But we didn't get to go back again to that one. We went through The Walking Dead. Looking back on The Walking Dead one, I remember I liked it a lot more because they had Walking Dead the previous year also, and it wasn't very memorable. It wasn't very good. This year it was a lot better. I still can't say I remember a lot at this point in time. Was it like 2 months since almost 2 months since going on this trip, almost. At this point, again, I don't remember it too well because you go through it and you don't really see the characters from the show. You don't go through the Walking Dead thing and see the main characters that I remember. I don't remember. If you do, I don't remember it. We went through one called Lunatic's Playground, and that was the 3D one. There was a 3D one last year of Alice in Wonderland, and I liked it a lot. And I liked Lunatic's Playground a lot too. I want to say it was the Chance themed one. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was like the Lunatics take over the asylum kind of thing, and Chance was the main character, and this was the 3D one for this year. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that quite well. Tomb of the Ancients. I'm reading this off the computer screen because you know, I'll forget one if I don't. Tomb of the Ancients was supposed to be sort of, I think, Egyptian themed, kind of. When all is said and done with that one, I was a little bit like, we have a haunted house here in Austin that is called, I don't want to say the wrong name. I almost said like Scare Factor, or no, that's not right. Terror, House of Torment. Okay, I've been to it, you know, a couple times. Not since we started doing this, because that would be overkill. I mean, but because it doesn't compare to the ones usually at Universal. But the Tomb of the Ancients haunted house felt like I was going to the local House of Torment thing, because they actually did something very similar. I think the last time, or one of the times that I went to House of Torment here in Austin. So I wasn't wildly impressed with Tomb of the Ancients. Honestly, their original haunted houses can be a little generic. You know, it's original stuff. But last year they did have a few really good ones. They had like a sort of a fairy tale kind of one, and they had one that collects all the original characters they've done as hosts of their horror nights. I think that was two different ones. So yeah, those were cool last year, and so was the Alice in Wonderland one. I mean, they do some cool original ones. They had another really cool one that was snowing inside last year. This year was Krampus that had the snow. But Tomb of the Ancients wasn't that impressive. What else? Halloween. They did Halloween. Basically, it was Halloween 2. But they called it Halloween Hell Comes to Haddonfield. And I remember it being really good. It's a really good Halloween 2. You know, you're going through the hospital and stuff like that, and Michael Myers is chasing you. You know, it was creepy. It was good. You know, that stuff that surprises me a little, because when I watch movies, like, I can get bored with Jason Friday the 13th, and I can get bored with the Halloween sequels and stuff. Because it's just a killer following people around, killing them. And I mean, I'm not a person who gets a rise out of that, you know. Or I like supernatural movies. I like werewolves. I like vampires. I like, you know, stuff like that. That's the kind of horror. And I like, you know, to some degree, I like Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers and stuff. But I mean, you know, I would have preferred the Halloween series become an anthology series like it was supposed to with Halloween 3. But that would have been my preference. I love Halloween 3. They should do Halloween 3 somehow. I guess it's like robots and stuff, though. But, yeah, I guess that's all of them. Yeah, that was my assessment on the houses. Some very cool ones, you know, a couple of... Overall, it might have been better than last year. I remember there were 2 or 3 last year that, you know, the Purge was kind of, and then they had an original one that was like sort of like a Running Man kind of theme, and that was terrible. And they had The Walking Dead wasn't that good last year, I don't think, and I don't remember what else, but yeah, I think overall they were better this year, although you can't top an American Werewolf in London for me, although The Exorcist was just as good. But American Werewolf in London is my horror movie and my #1, you know. So, and then they have the scare zones, which are the streets that you walk down throughout the park, you know. You're walking down the street to get from, you know, one to another, and like, and they have themed creatures out on the streets attacking you. Let me see if I can find the list of scare zones here. Well, they had one called Survive or Die, which was like a Road Warrior type thing where it's the future, and we didn't even really go down that street. We barely saw it on our way out of the park, and it looked pretty cool, but we didn't really we didn't spend a lot of time in the scare zones. They had one called Banshee, what is this called? Banshee's Lair, which is sort of the real Halloween themed street. Last year it was very much a Halloween themed street, and this year it was sort of a Celtic Halloween themed street. And that one is always cool to walk through. It's always heavy fog and pretty hard to see, but it was pretty cool. Dead Man's Wharf was another one. Yeah, when you're trying to get to like the Harry Potter area, you usually through one direction, you have to go through this. And it was very cool. It's like the the fog type thing, you know, with the ghost fishermen and all that stuff. And that was one of the cooler ones, one of the more memorable ones of the scare zones. And then they had a 1950, they have that 1950s area because they have Mel's Diner, and that was like a vampire theme, and it was all these like 1950s cheerleader vampires and greasers and just all kinds of like 1950s high school like Grease type Happy Days thing, and they were all vampires, and that was cool. And they're just walking around you and like scaring you and stuff. And they always have a section with some people with chainsaws. Last year it was like clowns. There was tons of clowns with chainsaws. I'm not sure what that section was called this year, but it was cheerleaders with chainsaws, which was awesome. I dug that. I really dug that. I'm not sure if they had a name for that scare zone. When I look up the scare zones, I just see Chance in Hell. So like that's like a scare zone of like people who escaped from the asylum. I don't remember that. I don't know if that's supposed to be the cheerleader one or what. I don't see a name for the cheerleader one, which was sort of in the Simpsons area. But yeah, and I guess that's about. I don't know if I'm forgetting any scare zones. They had a few other stage shows, or at least one other. Academy of Villains. We didn't see that. We didn't have time for the stage shows. Once we were done with the haunted houses, we went over to like I said, to Diagon Alley. We had some ice cream and some butterbeer, and we played with our wands all for all the rest of the evening. We had a good time, and we went to Nocturne Alley and went through that creepy shop they have there, and it was great. We had a good time. Then we went back to the hotel, and I don't know if that was the night that I got pizza at the hotel or not, but I feel like it might have been the night before. But and the next day we got on a plane and we went home, and that is me talking about our trip. And like, I hope you got some information out of it in case you're gonna plan a trip to Halloween Horror Nights next year, or Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I highly recommend the Scare Actor dining experience, and I recommend going to EPCOT. I recommend riding the Frozen ride and Soarin' and eating at Tokyo Dining, and take some money so you can enjoy yourself. And yeah, I'm gonna go on eBay and try to get that ornament, because I don't even know what I'm gonna do with this pin, but I need more merchandise for the Sanderson sisters. But yeah, we had a good time. I don't know when our next Disney trip will be. We had a pretty good run there. We went at Christmas, we went again at Halloween, and we went again at Christmas, and again this Halloween. There might have been one year that we didn't go. I don't know. It was a gap there somewhere, but past few years been pretty good. We went also to New York and a few other places, Seattle. So yeah, we've been doing some traveling. Hope to go outside of the U.S. at some point here soon. But right now we're paying the piper for the past trips before we can go on the next one. So so the Easter trip might be canceled. Seems like it's not happening right now, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll get a great job. Probably I'll get another call center job. But I don't know, we'll see. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. If you have your own opinions on the haunted houses or anything else, you know, if you want to mention your favorite activities at any of these places, if you want to complain that this video is ridiculously long, I know it was. I gotta find out why my camera phone can't film more than 40 minutes. It used to do over an hour. Now it's just doing 40 minutes. Okay, anyway, gotta try to get a camera at some point. That was that trip, and I wanted to get that out of the way for you guys since Halloween is definitely over now, and it's time to get our Christmas tree up. I think we're gonna have those pumpkins out for like 1, maybe 2 more nights, but definitely by Saturday. Christmas time for us. December what? It's gonna be the 3rd or something? Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'll catch you guys next time. I'll update you on my situation and what have you. I think with the holidays being what they are, we won't be getting as many videos out as usual for the next month or so. When my mom's visiting, we usually don't do our Moonlight movies, but if I get any cool toys or whatever, I'll do a little review or something, or you'll probably see some unboxings or something. Okay, later.